I'm Cheryl.
And I'm Naima. We're three Black moms. Hi! You know a lot about a person from their smile. And your smile is important. And not only is your smile important, it's important how your teeth fit together so that you can chew properly. A lot of times, parents are not aware of how important dental health is and having teeth that fit together. And you never understand how deeply impacted your self-esteem is when you have crooked teeth. Now, if you're a thumb sucker, you probably ended up with an overbite. And if you don't correct it, you might even have a lisp. And so it's more than just the cosmetics. It's your health in terms of being able to properly grind your food. It's your speech and ability to be clearly heard because your teeth are fitting together properly so you can pronounce things. And it's a lot about the way you feel about yourself. You want to enjoy your smile. So parents, it's important to take care of your children's teeth, not just the cavities, but even making those corrections if some teeth are out of alignment. Now, I had teeth that were not perfect. I was a thumb sucker. And so when you do that, you do cause your teeth to go out of alignment. And it did affect how I felt about my smile. And I didn't get an opportunity to correct it until I was an adult. And I was in my first professional job after college. And I finally got the teeth that I wanted. And so now I love to smile. But I also understood how important that is. So when my daughter's teeth began to grow in, and I could see she had a situation where they didn't all, fit together perfectly, I knew it was important to get them corrected. And so she spent a good 4 years in braces. Sometimes things take a little longer, but ultimately she had a beautiful smile. And she had a wonderful orthodontist. And what was great about it is that, she had a little bit of a modeling career when she went overseas. And she, of course, they had you model all kinds of things: hands, feet, hair, teeth. And she happened to be on the cover of this dental magazine. And of course, they first asked her, "Are these your real teeth?" And she did assure them, "Yes, these are my teeth." But they put her on the cover of this dental magazine, to advertise good, nice, white, straight teeth. And I knew this was a special thing. And I took a copy of it. I showed a copy of it to her orthodontist. And he was so proud. He said, "She's showing my work all over the world." Because it is a skill, straightening teeth. And it is important that we honor our mouth and do what's necessary to have that beautiful smile. It might be a little pricey or seem to be, but it is worth the investment. So we want to talk about the orthodontics, taking care of our children's teeth and what it could mean for them for the rest of their lives. So, sisters, what do you think about taking care of teeth?
I'll go first for a lot of reasons, one of which my daughter also had braces. But it even started before then. The thing is that a lot of times when you have insurance, dental insurance, you should know, they will cover cleaning for kids, but if they're baby teeth, a lot of times they will not cover cavities. Mm-hmm. So at one point,
it's going to come out anyway.
Yes, exactly. But the thing is, if the teeth come out beforehand, or if they're rotten or that kind of stuff, that causes all kind of health problems. It can even cause heart problems eventually because you're swallowing bacteria. Yes, this is why it's very, very important to get cavities filled. And I remember her dentist, because she started going to the dentist, I think around the age of 3. That's when they should first get their first dental checkup, well, because that's when they usually start having most of their teeth in, right?
Mm-hmm.
So so when she had a cavity, I want to say she was 5 or 6, something like that. And he said, well, insurance won't cover the whatever it is, the filling. He says, but it's about $40. I said, put the filling in, because you just be willing to pay out of pocket for that, because you want them to keep those teeth as long as they're supposed to be there. She actually started losing her teeth, I think, when she was like 5. She lost her first tooth. And I was devastated because she was like almost a year old before she got the first one anyway. So it was like it was such a short window of time that she started getting her teeth. She was almost a year old when she started getting them, and then she loses them, and usually they lose them around 6. So anyway, when she finally started getting her adult teeth, her 2 front teeth grew with a gap. She had a lot of spaces, and she also had been doing a little modeling, and so they said, oh, I'll wait till her teeth grow in. Well, I went to the dentist, and they gave her a retainer to put her to bring the brace, the 2 teeth together. And I thought, okay, that'll be it. And then she went into braces after that. Sarah went into braces, let me think, 3 times.
Oh, wow.
Well, let me see. She had braces. She had the retainer, then she had the braces, and then they took them off, and then she had them again because her teeth didn't grow the way her jaw did not grow the way he thought it was going to grow. So he put them back on. The last time she got them were Invisalign. She got Invisalign, and she was in college, and the dentist this time, because we had exhausted our orthodontia payments. So we paid out of pocket for that, for Invisalign, and she took them to college with her, and you changed them every 2 weeks. And now when I tell people she has $1 million smile, is because that's pretty much what we paid for it. But the most important thing is for her to have that beautiful smile, but to have healthy teeth. Like I said, if your child gets they start losing their teeth too early because of cavities, or they start getting rotten, because a lot of times people, they're not as good about brushing their kids' teeth, and they say, well, they're going to lose them anyway. And then there's that whole thing about giving your kids too much sugar water or pop. It's sold to other parts of the world, but we call it pop in Chicago.
Right.
But even if you water it down, or even juices, if you put them to bed with milk or juice or anything other than water when they're little, and you put them in the bed with a bottle, and they're taking a bottle to bed, you're rotting their teeth. You're helping to rot their teeth. They don't need to have water. In fact, that was what the dentist told her. He said, okay, no more, because she never really had a pacifier, but he got her off the bottle. He says, but only water. And I didn't like putting milk in and letting her go to bed with milk anyway, because that's just bad for them. And that's the thing, is that and any sugar drinks, even if it's watered down apple juice, because a lot of times people give their kids apple juice because they want to give them something healthy. You're still putting sugar into their mouth all the time.
Right. Yeah. Sugar sitting in their mouth. Yeah.
Yes.
I think it is so important as a parent to recognize the importance of the health of your child's teeth. And preventative care is more important than waiting until your child has a toothache and then you're taking them to the dentist. I think that our parents were not aware of the importance of that when we were young, because I don't remember going to the dentist until I did have a toothache, and then that tooth had to be pulled. For my own kids, I have to say, amazingly, because it depends on your jawline, your physical makeup, but my kids all were born with straight teeth. Well, particularly Lavinia, who never wore braces her entire life, has always had a beautiful smile. And John actually had an accident in which the poor boy had one of those bike accidents where he lost like 4 teeth in the front of his mouth when he was a teenager. And because they were his adult teeth, he got them replaced with dental implants. And his insurance actually paid for all of it. Amazingly, maybe it's because he was under 21. Maybe it's because I don't really remember how that was all covered. And then Lorelai, who has a beautiful smile, wants to invest in Invisalign because she does have a little bit of a gap, but it's really attractive all the same. But I will say for myself, I got Invisalign as an adult and have been very pleased I've been very pleased with the results. But it's more than just about having a beautiful smile, although that is part of it. Part of it as a parent is having to have your kids practice good dental health as they're growing up. It's more than brushing your teeth 2 or 3 times a day and flossing. It is also about having them drink water as opposed to drinking pop. Or sugared drinks, and I'm a culprit of having had my kids drinking Capri Suns for lunch, thinking that they're having some kind of healthy juice. Really, that's not really good for your kids. But
it's sugar water.
Yeah.
Sugar water.
And because we were living in a low income lifestyle at the time, my kids were very young, they were able to go to the dentist pretty much for free at UIC because they had a dental program where they had students overseen by a professional dentist. They would work on your kids' teeth. My kids had regular dental checkups there. And then when that program closed down, we got them going regularly to a regular dentist who became our friend because we got to know him. He didn't take insurance. So we were often paying out of pocket. Well, I'll say he took insurance. He didn't take public aid. That's what he didn't take. And we were on that medical card at the time until we both got full-time jobs. And then our insurance covered it. But from the time that my kids first started going to the dentist, I think it was about 3, like you said, until they were adults and paying for their own dental care. They had regular checkups, they would have fillings taken care of, and they would usually have such small cavities that it wasn't very much when they were, under the age of 10. But I think part of having your kids have good dental hygiene is not to let your kids eat so much candy. Don't let your kids always have to have something sweet in their mouths because that contributes to dental decay. And like I said, have your kids drink water more often than some kind of sugary drink.
Also, I want to mention about water because part of President Biden's infrastructure is talking about getting rid of a lot of the lead piping throughout this country because we all know what happened with Flint, and Flint isn't the only one. But the thing is so a lot of people were drinking bottled water. The problem with bottled water is that it does not have fluoride in it.
Yeah.
And what people started when the big bottled water craze started, people think, oh, this is great. You take bottled water and you drink it healthy. Well, the thing is, that's when dentists started seeing more teeth decay and cavities because they did not have fluoride in these bottled waters. Yeah. So if you have good water in your house, fill those bottles up with the water from your tap because that water has fluoride in it. And like Barbara said, we didn't go to the dentist. I don't remember having cavities as a kid. I didn't have them, but there was a lot of plaque. And when I got my first job, my first professional job, and he did such a cleaning. He couldn't believe how bad the plaque had gotten, but he said, I can tell by your teeth that you had fluoride in your water. And that was the thing. And here I was 21, maybe I was 21 years old and having a first really, really good cleaning, because that was just not something that, you know, was really practiced. And nobody even told you about flossing. You know, who heard of flossing when we were growing up? You know,
that at all.
yet, and now when I floss, I remember one of the signs in one of Sarah's orthodontist office, and it said, floss only the teeth you want to keep.
I saw another sign that says, was it ignore your teeth and they'll go away?
Yes.
And also the water pick is very good too. I use a water pick a couple of times a day.
That makes my tongue itch. My dentist is, I got one, and my dentist keeps telling me that that's better than the flossing. But I just it just like the water, the thing, it just makes my tongue itch weird. You know, and you know how you get this itch feel in your teeth, and you can't get it out. It feels like that to me. When I can get it to work, it's fine. But I don't mind the flossing, and I don't mind flossing even before I brush to get all the big stuff out, and then floss again as you need to. But like I said, we didn't grow up thinking about that. And then they have all those little the portable ones that you see all over the ground. So I don't know if somebody's flossing somewhere.
Yeah. And they also tell you to eat an apple. They would always say, you know how Africans have those really good teeth? It's because they eat apples.
Apples and broccoli is also good for teeth.
Yeah. Oh, that's good, because I eat both of those things. But now you mentioned the candy. Now I know exactly when my cavity started. It was when I think it was my junior year, and we had this school fundraiser where we had to sell candy, and I was selling Baby Ruths and what's that other one that
Snickers?
Is it
Milky Way?
But it was one of those ones that has that real chewy hard stuff in it.
Peach bars?
Or
Payday
bars. Let's see, it was
$100,000 bar.
I think it might have been Heath bars. It has that really hard caramel.
Yeah, that's Heath bars with the toffee. Yes.
Yeah. And we were selling that, and you know how you eat your product that you're supposed to be selling, and it's not as paid for it, because I didn't get all of it. So that was what, and then of course I'd eat the candy and then go to bed, and, because like you said, we didn't really learn about
brush your teeth before you go to bed.
Yeah. I didn't realize that. So, that was the year my teeth started to go away. And, I mean, unfortunately, I grew up, and I guess because we saw, older people had dentures, I just assumed that at a certain point your teeth fall out. That's supposed to happen. So I didn't realize that you can keep your natural teeth forever if you take care of them.
You're supposed to die with them, yes.
Yeah, by the time I realized that, unfortunately, many of my teeth had left and will not return. So I had to do like John, buy some. And that's okay. I said, I have great teeth. Some of them I had to buy, but that's all right. They're all mine. But I think we have to teach our children early a practice, just like anything else. Just like you get up and wash, and then put on deodorant. You teach them all those hygiene things. You have to teach them the dental hygiene of brush your teeth before you go to bed, floss your teeth before you go to bed. You have to teach those things so it becomes a practice, a habit when they're early, when they're young, when they're learning how to do all those other things, tie your shoes and everything else. I think that has to be a habit, and to get them conscious of taking care of their teeth, so that it is not expected that your teeth should just fall out, or you only see a dentist when you have a toothache. But you really, it is. And I also didn't know that, you're supposed to see a dentist every 6 months.
Yes.
So a lot of these things I didn't know until I got grown, and then, realizing that I have to be more conscious about my daughter's teeth, because I don't want her to expect them to just fall out at a certain point. I want her to expect to have them. So, I think it's necessary for us to reinforce that for our children, and also realizing that self-esteem really does impact you when your teeth are crooked. It has a lot, or you got rotted teeth or teeth missing. It has,
especially as an adult, there's nothing worse than seeing somebody with a front tooth missing. Even though we're not judgy people, right?
But
you still kind of judge them because they look like, you want to say, what's wrong with these people that they can't get their teeth fixed.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, the answer to that can be really not their fault. I had this conversation with my dentist, and I told her, I said I had run into an old friend. I did not recognize her because she looked really old. All of her front teeth were missed. She's like an old snag-a-tooth old woman. And I said that to her, and she said, the truth is a lot of low-income people do not have the insurance to pay for good dental health.
Right.
And they may not know that there are resources for them that they can go to have dental care taken care of, even if they cannot financially afford it. Like I said, when we were little, we went to those dental schools, and my kids got their teeth taken care of until we moved out of that situation and were able to pay a dentist out of our own pocket.
Yeah, I think that's something that should be more highly promoted, and maybe dental schools could do more of that, because ultimately you do want to have everybody have good dental health. A lot of times children, when they're in school, whether it's grammar school or high school, if they're sitting there with a toothache or whatever the case may be, you can't really concentrate when you're in pain.
Yes.
And so these are things that a nation should think about, everyone being in good health. And if some things require payment and some people don't have payment, find other ways for them to get good health care. A friend of mine was talking about, matter of fact, we have our radio show hosts every Sunday morning, and our host from London, Jana, she was talking about how they have a national health plan. So there's more emphasis on prevention of illness, more emphasis on making sure everybody is taken care of, because you don't want people to get sick because the government's paying for it. So, things that would keep you healthy, like good dental hygiene, those are important things. And definitely.
And if your teeth, and why I'm going to say this one thing, because sometimes no matter what, your kids can have, perfectly healthy teeth and they still grow in crooked. And someone once told me, because you can
inherit the
jawline of one parent and the teeth of the other. So maybe they're not going to fit together. Maybe they're going to have to lose some teeth. Maybe you're going to have to pull out those wisdom teeth or something to get all of them to fit. But so that's not what we're saying when we're saying if orthodontia ends up being part of that because they don't fit together, think of that not just as cosmetic, even though that's important for their self-esteem and the way they present, but because it is a health problem. Because if their teeth are filled with bacteria where they're not being cleaned properly, that bacteria goes into their system, and it affects your heart. It affects all kind of parts of your because the bacteria is going into your bloodstream. So there's a lot of health issues that come from having a unhealthy mouth that we don't think about. We're a whole body, and everything is affected.
That's right. We're a whole body. Yep.
So, sisters, tell me, how much is the tooth fairy giving out these days?
I couldn't tell you because I never gave more than. Let me think. See, some of these people, I think I gave her. Let me think. The tooth fairy gave her like, maybe it was a quarter or a dollar. It was never more than $1, because like these people giving out $5, that there ain't no dent, no diamond in that tooth. They ain't getting that kind of money from me. But it's like, give me a break. I mean,
I don't remember.
I don't think it was that much though.
I'm trying to think what I have to ask Zakia what did her tooth fairy give her, because we know Sultan, he was one of those you know, we're not going to have her believing in fairies. But, you know, children at school know that you get paid when your teeth fall out. So you kind of under
Yeah, you do.
pressure to do it anyway.
Oh, before we go, I have a really cute story. I have a really cute story about the tooth fairy. My tooth fairy is one of my sisters. Mama told me that once I lost a tooth and she was at work, so she didn't know. And Barbara got 10 little pennies together, put them under my pillow so that put them and gave it to me because so she became the tooth fairy. Barbara, you probably don't even remember that.
I don't.
Mama does. So thank you, tooth fairy. Isn't that the cutest story?
Wow.
Yeah. My big sister.
Well, I even have a funnier story than that because I have to say that I knew it was time for the tooth fairy to go away when Lavinia started telling me, you know, the tooth fairy owes me some money for some teeth that I lost that I never got paid for. And she brought me a little list with little prices next to them and told me, and a molar is worth like $5. And I was
like I said, if it doesn't have a diamond in it, it ain't getting that kind of money.
She had to have a business meeting with her tooth fairy. Yeah. Like that. Well, of course, we want you all to encourage your children to keep their teeth as long as they should, and make sure they practice good dental health so that they can always have a nice smile. So we've got to go, and we thank you all for watching us. Make sure you contact us on Twitter and Instagram and our blogs, and subscribe to our YouTube channel, 3 Black Moms. I'm Naima.
I'm Cheryl.
I'm Barbara. We're 3 Black Moms.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.